and we're making good progress towards clinical studies. I'm excited to announce that we received a breakthrough device designation from the FDA in July, thanks to the hard work of the NEURALINK team.
A few days ago, many of us heard that the US Food and Drug Administration had given FDA breakthrough device designation to Elon Musk's NEURALINK N1. In short, we'll now begin human trials of NEURALINK N1. Even recently, this NEURALINK N1 implant has been done on a person, and Elon Musk claimed in his tweet that the test results were quite satisfactory.
Neurons are like wiring, and you kind of need an electronic thing to solve an electronic problem.
Well, can give this statement with so much confidence because in 2016, the NEURALINK N1 device was already successfully tested on pigs and rhesus macaques, which are a species of monkeys that are closest to us in terms of DNA. And now, human trials are underway. Now, if human trials are successful, patient can just walk into any hospital and a surgical robot will fit the NEURALINK N1 into their brain. After only 1 to 2 hours of automatic surgery, the patient will be good to go home without any anesthesia or post-surgical bleeding. Yes, I am not kidding, it's going to be very soon. If you want to know how, well, imagine that you are moving the computer cursor. Here basically, there is electrical activity in the primary motor cortex of your brain. So let's say that you understand the meaning of the electrical activity in the brain through an electrical device and can convey it to another person. That is, you have a brain-computer interface or BCI. And NEURALINK N1 is nothing but a type of BCI. NEURALINK is basically designed to telepathically convey the brain's electrical signals. Seems like science fiction, right? But believe me, this is not science fiction or anything new. Even 2 different companies are making their own devices to achieve this milestone. And the science and logic of all these technologies are very similar. And you can understand all these mechanisms very smoothly. I will tell you. You just need to know some fundamental mechanisms of our brain. As we know, our brain has almost 100 billion neurons. And each neuron has 3 parts. Dendrites that receive chemical signals from neighboring neurons in the form of neurotransmitter. Second is soma, which collects chemical signals and converts them into electrical signals. And the third is the axon, whose job is to send newly created impulse signal to the dendrites of the next neuron through some gaps called synapses. It's important to remember that every small task we do starts an electrochemical dance in our brain. The only difference is that, depending on the task or thought, the electrochemical brain activity can vary in intensity. But the question now is, where does NEURALINK fit into all this? NEURALINK basically follows all these electrical patterns and tries to tell us through computers what humans are thinking. Well, if we think in another way, when the current flows through the wire, we can detect the electric field of that current, just as the electric field of the electric impulse flowing from the neuron can also be detected. Just place some microelectrons around their axon and then try to hear the impulses in the form of popping sound. Genius technique, right? Because it has been working on it for the past 2 decades. For example, take a look at the 2002 incident of a monkey moving a computer cursor, or a man with a C3-C4 spinal injury in 2006 who can control a robotic arm with just his brain. So it turns out that this brain chip tech was there from the start. Elon Musk just improved it. And in my opinion, this is Elon Musk's specialty, that he finds value in already existing technology and can make it multiple times better. For example, even before Tesla, attempts have been made to make electric vehicles. For example, Ferdinand Porsche, then Ford's founder Henry Ford, all of them tried to make electric cars in the early 19th century. But the difference is that in 2016, Tesla rectified all these existing technologies and made a car that could deliver around 320 km on average on a single charge. And precisely in the case of nuclear N1, we see the same principle, which is to improve the multiple folds of the existing brain chip technology by making it practical and human-consuming. For example, Neuro-EP and synchronous Neuro-EP already reached the human trial stage in the field of neurotechnology. But the question now is why people are still showing so much interest in NEURALINK. Because the process that you can see on the screen is being done through Neuro-EP technology. In the utero technique, these types of electric needles are usually implanted in the brain. The wire exits the skull and is connected to a separate computer system to monitor brain signals. However, it is clear that the utero is an impractical design to use in daily life. On the other hand, Synchronous has brought compact device to solve this problem, but it also has some drawbacks. As Synchronous are implanted in the blood vessels of the brain signals are sent to a small recorder in the chest, which is transmitted wirelessly to any computer and electronic device. This is definitely a unique technique, but have you noticed a basic issue with Synchronous? Stentors of Synchronous do not touch brain tissue anywhere. As a result, the accuracy of identifying brain signal will decrease. Then, perhaps due to the lack of accuracy, the patient's robotic arm picked up the water bottle and placed it on the desktop instead of on the table while multitasking. And for this reason, for greater accuracy, the microelectrodes must be placed in the correct position of the neuron, just like Neuralink. Because Neuralink's microelectrodes are much more flexible than the utero. Second, Neuralink's Bluetooth transmitter is the size of a button and can easily be implanted into the skull. And finally, the most important part is the installation of Neuralink in your brain by a surgical robot without breaking a single blood vessel in the process. So overall, Neuralink will provide accuracy like utero and compact like Synchronous Neuro-EP. Now we have to keep in mind that Neuralink will be implanted in our head, which is the most complex organ in our body. Now, to get approval from FDA, Neuralink's website clearly states that before conducting trials on healthy animals, they conduct trials on dead animals and terminal animals first. It can improve surgical procedures from dead animals and technical devices for terminal animals. Just look at the representation. As soon as the Neuralink electrodes are activated, each electrode starts making some color pattern. And the size of this sphere basically refers to the intensity of the electrical activity of the neuron. And the color of this pattern indicates the direction of the electrical impulse. So all these signals are so nicely organized that in the future, this device can be improved even more with just a software update. For example, Neuralink is already so advanced for FDA approval that Pager, a rhesus macaque monkey, can control video games using only his brain. This achievement is so significant that the trials on monkeys played a big role behind Neuralink's human trial approval. Well, the official website of Neuralink said that in the future, Neuralink not only paralyzed patients but also mental patients will be able to communicate with us through Neuralink. Again, in the future, through Neuralink, brain signals can be detected and linked to neurons in the arms and legs of paralyzed patients. As a result, the movement of paralyzed patient can be easier. A few years ago, a SpaceX senior executive, Garrett Reisman, said in a podcast that the technology Mr. Musk works with should have some role to play in creating a self-sustaining colony on Mars. Think about it yourself. Why has Musk invested in electric cars? Because the chances of finding fuel on Mars are extremely low. The reason for creating a SpaceX is to make transportation between Mars and Earth easier. So a question comes to mind, and that is Neuralink N1 being made only to fix paralysis issue patient, or is Neuralink N1 just an extension project of Starlink through which people can communicate with each other telepathically? And this advancement will significantly help the human species proliferate on any planet. However, guys, we can't predict the future just by judging the current technology. Only time will tell how far Neuralink will progress in the future. And you can give your opinion in the comment. And if you like the video, you can subscribe to our channel.